Look, everyone knows by now that Disney logos take forever, and almost always vary slightly to match the theme or setting of the film. I hereby petition the Sin Gods to let us heretofore save time and effort by just sinning Disney the way we always have sinned Comcast. He sings the lyrics underneath the lovely England sky, and then the next cut is this bleak-ass shit. Is all of early London inside a coal mine or what? Jack steals this apple, but immediately gives it to a random stranger, as if somehow that makes him less of an asshole. Are those the same steps and birds from the Feed the Birds song in the first movie? Is that the Feed the Birds lady dead on the steps of the St. Paul's Cathedral? This movie took a dark turn fast. This painting looks even less like a real city than in the first movie. Look, nostalgia is all fine and good, but among the things you didn't need to copy from the first movie was the insufferable habit of running pre-credits. That may have flown 50 years ago, but this is 2019, and we want to pop some Poppins already. Spoilers!
The other day I found a butcher's sack hanging on the coat rack and my hat was in the larder.
Disney is Englanding hard in this movie, but since I don't want to Google every single London phrase, I'm just going to pretend every word or phrase I don't understand is a sexual euphemism. Also, the last time I asked my college girlfriend if I could put my hat in the larder, it was my butcher's sack that ended up on the coat rack.
We are solicitors with the law firm of Gordy, Caudry, Gooding and Fry.
So if we went with first names, it'd be Pig, Rob, Cuba, and Channing?
It seems you have fallen 3 months behind in your payments.
Let me know when he gets up to 10 months and is hiding his car under a pile of dead leaves to avoid repossession. What?
If you are unable to pay in full by Friday at midnight, I'm afraid we will have to repossess your home.
Ah, good old repossession. It's long been a staple antagonist tool in films, and if I read the tea leaves correctly, they will get to keep their home in the end.
Father left us shares in the bank. You could use those to pay off the loan.
I was saving those for the children.
Worry about the children after you've paid off this massive debt and kept your home. All these decades later, and crazy Cannon neighbor is still allowed to get away with this bullshit.
Don't you have to go to work?
No. Work can wait.
Well, that certainly is... what's the word? Conventional? No. Covenant? No, that's not it. Lazy story writing? Yeah, that's the one. Not one single shot in this movie has shown a London sky that is pretty or even not ugly.
The balloon lady!
I'd remove 400 sins if the balloon lady turned out to be Pennywise. Sadly, she does not.
These rooms were always full of magic.
Well, the open scissors there stored above your lamp suggest these rooms were also always full of danger.
Snows left the lane, but the cherry trees forgot to bloom.
What a pick-me-up this song is. On with the adventure.
I honestly can't remember why we kept most of this stuff to begin with.
That's because you didn't. Last time we saw that globe, Mary Poppins was putting it in her magic bag when she abandoned you the first time. F*** you.
Georgie, come back! Georgie!
Sadly, Georgie already knows he will float too. And you're chasing after an apparition. Georgie is dead, and he's never coming back. Let go already! Do you want string burn? Because this is how you get string burn.
How do you know our names?
Because she's Mary Poppins, of course.
Nice to see you, Jack.
His name is Jack, he is the lantern guy, and there's a million things he hasn't done. But just you wait, just you wait. Also, if there are some rules this world could clean up, it would primarily be in the who knows Mary Poppins and can and can't remember her superpowers and why department. Jack says he worked for Bert as a kid and met her then. And somehow he remembers based on one small encounter. Yet the Banks children had many adventures with her 24 years ago, and they've forgotten her bag of tricks.
And I will insist on having every second Tuesday off.
Coming soon to Disney Plus. What does Mary Poppins do every other week that she needs time off for? And why are so many men in London smiling every other Wednesday? Every second Tuesday this fall on HBO. I mean Disney Plus.
Those things when we were young, they didn't really
Happen?
No.
No.
Of course not.
Ridiculous.
Movie blatantly rips off the got older and decided the magic from my youth was just a dream angle from Hook. And I am not having it.
I should have left you in the umbrella stand.
Not with the cane!
That's Canist. Disney's, Tim Burton's, Willy Wonka's Mary Poppins. Still better than Aquaman. I think this entire movie may owe itself to people being firmly on the seagrass, if you know what I mean. That's not how sudden bubbles work. Not possible for those 3 bubble pops to result in all 3 kids being in the tub boat. Well, the document Dad's worried about finding is 100% definitely on the back of this drawing. What I don't know is if the movie intended to reveal that this early or not. It's a sin either way, so... Man, the UK Tourism Board must fucking hate this movie. Who would ever want to visit the dreariest place in the world?
Hello, Miss Penny Farthing.
Miss Penny Farthing is the daughter of Mr. Peso Dollar and Mrs. Deutschmark Canadian Dollar. I sure do hope this movie explains why Harry Heartless here has such a raging destruction boner for the Banks family, considering there's really no coherent reason to be screwing them this badly. Also, we clearly see him turn from Baker to Bonham in the book. Where was the Banks sheet in the first place? Also, wouldn't there have been another shareholder on the back of that sheet? Even in the sequel, here is a huge mansion that forces 3 offspring to share a single bedroom. Dicks. Now Georgie is cutting up Chekhov's drawing to patch up the kite. fuck.
Oh, hello, Jack.
Mary Poppins, how are you this fine evening?
I understand Jack is used to climb, but this isn't a conversation you could have had from the ladder or the ground. I guess he wanted to be in the room where it happens.
Are we ready?
Ready.
I know Poppins knows this guy, but to the Banks, he's just a stranger covered in soot who has his Uncle Biden hands on Georgie's shoulders and is about to join them on the adventure inside of a painting on a bowl.
Where are we?
Looks like we're in China, so to speak.
Groan.
Let's see now. This should do it.
Except no.
We're on the brink of an adventure, children. Don't spoil it with too many questions.
Weird, Jim Jones said the same thing. Okay, this is not a music hall. It is a tent.
One thing you should know about Mary Poppins. She never explains anything.
No Sherlock.
We've all been watching you in the nursery for years.
It's creepy as actually. Kids are entitled to a reasonable expectation of privacy in their own bedroom. Well, from everyone except their parents, of course. Even if you filled that balcony with water, it's nowhere near as much water as a whale would need. A whale is not a fucking amphibian, you know? They're water creatures. Newts and frogs can chill with only 10% of their body in water, no problem. Whales can fucking not.
D flat major.
Otherwise known as C sharp major. But go on with your lesser used key signature names, Poppins. Also, you wouldn't need to say major. Just tell them the song is in D flat. They'll know it's major by the fact that you didn't say minor.
He would read me lots of stories when he wasn't on the source.
Casual alcoholism.
Cover is not there, but so open it up and take a look.
Did Mary Poppins just do a pelvic thrust while singing Open It Up and Take a Look? I promise I'm not trying to cockney block anyone here, but the burlesque seems just a little out of place here, no?
Oh, give us the one about the dirty rascal, why don't you?
Isn't that one a bit long?
Well, the quicker you're into it, the quicker you're out of it.
I mean, I'm not the only one hearing this, right?
So the Queen of the Nation made a royal proclamation to the missus and the messes.
Absolutely no one will be seated during the We Had to Let Him Rap a Bit Hamilton portion of the movie.
Yes!
Flipping the bird. Also, Lynn sins and sends penguin friend who spins end over end, ascends, descends, but Lynn pretends to my chagrin that the tailspin is not his end and grins. Finn.
Let's go get your brother back.
Remember when we cared about the Banks house and Daddy and Auntie's quest to find the bank share certificate? That feels like 6 years ago. This thing turned into Back to the Future of Sleepy Hollow quickly. I have the same reaction whenever I pee in the dark. Ah, the old it was all a dream or was it cliche?
Looking for the place where the lost things go.
The Lost and Found? Goodwill? Memphis?
Trust she's always there, watching as you grow.
I don't remember the first Poppins movie needing to rely on a dead parent in order to pull the audience's heartstrings. This feels kind of cheap. Mary Potter? Harry Poppins? So we went into a painting with a soot-covered street worker. Now we're literally going to stand on the ceiling. Does this sequel have any original beats to hit?
Now, what do you want?
And just like that, thousands of Oscar voters mysteriously streeped their pants. This song basically just names a bunch of things that are opposites. There's nothing to be, holy crap, that's Meryl Streep. Everyone take a picture and make GIFs because this is what slumming looks like. And I'm saying that about a woman who was in 2 Mamma Mia movies.
This is my cousin.
Second cousin.
Clarifying cousinhood.
If you ring...
Super skipper-fragiskeptic expialskiptus.
Let's do the turtle swing!
This movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long. Sharing an experience that requires physical closeness as a metaphor for a budding romance cliche. Looking the other way while the kids in your care go rogue. Hope they don't get kidnapped on their way to whatever the task you're hoping they will complete.
Not another word.
Mary Poppins lets Dad scream at his children for the 2nd time because she can't just tell him about the secret papers. He has to, I don't know, learn something. Seemed a pretty decent father when it started, though. Unlike the original film where both parents were clearly terrible and negligent. This looks really fucking dangerous. Oh, what the do I care?
Leeries' job's to light the way.
To take the night and make it day.
First chimney sweeps and now leeries. I can't wait until Mary Poppins 9 has run out of obsolete occupations and we get a rousing rendition of Life's a Bowl of Cherries as a group of cheery nightmen go around emptying people's outhouses. Yes, let's do take the children into the sewers. Yes!
Then went to the bank.
Rattle and clank.
Leery speak is, according to Jack and this song, replacing real phrases with phrases that rhyme. Which isn't a language so much as it's a talent, a lame-ass talent. Even Kid Rock can rhyme, and thousands of phrases can rhyme with then we went to the bank. So English to Leery translation is easy, and the reverse next to impossible. This is not a language. You invented rhyming. You invented rhyming. X Games. She really is a great nanny, though. Now they've given each small child an arson stick to dance with.
So you've been off filling the children's heads with stuff and nonsense.
It's literally her brand, dude. Don't act so surprised.
I know they're children, my children, and I will deal with them as I see fit. Now leave us to it.
In case you thought the direct copying of the original was over, this one is also about a father who needs to listen to his children. If they do this in the 3rd one, I swear to Walt, I'm calling it the Mary Poppin' Daddies trilogy.
Well, you didn't help!
I feel like the only lesson this guy is learning here is how to be an even bigger asshole.
Where the lost things go.
He's crying because his kids are super average singers, and his last-ditch plan to pull the family out of financial ruin was to go the Von Trapp route.
Now run along, wash your hands, get ready for dinner.
We're having crackers!
Some people think a great deal too much. Of that I'm certain.
I know, right? Why think at all when you can just keep making the exact same movies over and over? There's that reveal everyone saw coming an hour ago. Poppins smiles knowingly now that they have found the certificate of shares. And yeah, they had a family healing moment a bit ago, but honestly, they were doing okay as a family. They just needed money. She shows up, knows where the money is, and tells no one. Also, she can feel justified for existing. This movie should have been Poppins free and over in 30 minutes. A drawing on the back of an important document used to patch up an old kite. This is a fucking Brady Bunch episode, not a movie. Also, this dunderhead daddy just over here fucking drawing sketches on the backs of important documents. He's the movie's real villain.
Have you ever ridden a bicycle like this before?
Please, how different can it be from riding an elephant?
Well, pretty fucking different. The weight balance is so messed up here, they should crash immediately. The leeries gonna have their way tonight. This movie about a bunch of ridiculous magic happening is going to turn back time by having humans literally move the hands on Big Ben, instead of just using magic to literally turn back time. This is basically all a big pun, and we like puns here at CinemaSins, but not as movie climaxes.
What are we gonna do? I've got an idea.
You climbed all the way up here without an idea? This movie is set in the 1930s, and Big Ben transitioned to electric power in 1908, so these gas jets shouldn't be gas jetting.
There's got to be a way.
So let me get this straight. She let Jumping Jack Flashlight and his eerie leeries risk life and limb cobbling together a ladder pile and performing a death-defying jackapult when she could have just flown up there and marry ex-Poppinicate herself. Tell me again that Mary Poppins is a good person. I dare you. That's not how clocks work, that's not how metal works, and it's not how nanny arm strength works. He's so angry about banks maybe keeping his home. Like, how could anyone this openly and obviously petty and resentful and purely evil ever rise to any position of power? If the good lawyer was just going to let the banks in, why did we need that whole kite in the window thing? Now the one thing they need as proof is out of their hands. In many ways, flying that kite into the room is the stupidest thing they could have done.
He has it there, Willie.
Dick Van f***ing Dyke. Also, they got Dick Van Dyke back, but not Mary f***ing Poppins herself, Julie Andrews. Oh wait, she probably has to see the script and then turn them down.
I'm back and you're out.
So none of this movie needed to happen then? They just had to tell Dick Van Dyke and we'd all be good? In tonight's show, the role of Gandalf's Eagles will be played by a talking parrot umbrella.
That tuppence has grown into quite a tidy sum. Enough to pay off that loan you took.
So in less than 30 years, they grew 4 cents to tens of thousands of dollars? I need some dick in my life. Wait. Sudden Murder, She Wrote.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
This is the end.
You can't steal our house. I'm telling my father.
Manners maketh man.
Snotface!
Got your vomit.
Turkey tits!
Mr. Interlocutor,
What is wrong with you?
well, I know of a doctor.
Tell about him, do.
Time to send up the call to arms. The beacon of Amodine is lit.
I did not that pig Milton to get a leading role just to die!